Hey, what's up everybody? It's MrScaryMuffin right back at you guys with another Thoughts Talk and TF2. This week's topic is brought to you by Mondre on Twitter, who asks what my thoughts were on the whole Valve modding, charging for modding Skyrim, basically, kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure most of you guys, especially those of you guys who are huge Skyrim fans, already heard about this. Basically what was happening was Valve was trying to introduce a system where modders can charge people for their mods. So you can buy their mods and then install into Skyrim, etc., etc. Some of the money goes to the modders who made it. Some of the money will go to Bethesda, who owns Skyrim, obviously, and some of the money goes to Valve for being the middleman. And what happened was there was a lot of upcry about it. People got mad, people got angry, Gaben got downvoted in Reddit, all that kind of stuff. And eventually, after a couple of days, Valve decided to pull this feature from the Steam. And rightfully so, people were, well, Mondre at least, was wondering what my opinion was on the whole thing. And I have a kind of like a middle ground-ish opinion on the whole thing. I believe people had the right to be angry, but realistically, people should have been angry with what Valve was doing with their systems way before this. I suppose people just really love their free Skyrim mods so much that they cause this huge outcry about it. Now, don't get me wrong, I believe modders do deserve to make some money. I mean, if they have donate links kind of stuff, there was a donate system I believe that was being set up as well. I believe they deserve to earn something, or if they wanted to, they can earn some stuff based on their mods. And it definitely encourages people to go towards modding and like make better mods kind of stuff, like the whole capitalist idea basically, right? But there's a lot of little finicky things about the whole modding thing that definitely cause like some concerns. For example, who has the rights? Does like Bethesda earn the rights to what the modders make, even though they didn't really sign a contract or anything? And you could totally steal something from one mod, use it in your mod, and then like who gets the money, who gets the cut kind of stuff, right? The bigger worry for me is where the accountability is going to be, because mods are obviously unstable, sometimes not tested. If it deletes your file, if it like corrupts your computer, or if it just like steals your Steam account or whatever, like who is at fault here? Bethesda seems like they can just take money, and anything that happens, like, oh no, it's not our fault, it's the modder's fault, just deal with the modders. And the modder would be like, whoop, 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 I'm not even here anymore, and just run away and then disappear with all the cash. And so all this money will go out, but nobody really has to pay for it, you know, like in terms of like if something bad happens, if the consumer is not happy, if the promises that the modders make were not lived up to, like who do they complain to, and who can be held accountable for this stuff, right, that's happening? And that's pretty huge to me. Now, as an industry insider myself, working in the game industry, I'm really jealous of Valve. They made so much money from virtual goods, it's ridiculous. Just purely them taking cuts from marketplace trading, like things like TF2 crates or Dota crates or CSGO crates, you know? People put these things up for 3 cents, and of those 3 cents, Valve takes 2 cents out of it. That's ridiculous. Last summer they had this summer card thing where you do some stuff and you get these like collectible, quote-unquote collectible cards, and if you complete a set of 10, then your team, you got randomly assigned to one of the 4 teams, your team will go up in points, and at the end of the day, the top like team, they'll pick 10 people randomly from there, and then those 10 random people will get the top 3 games from the wishes, etc. And it was brilliant to me. It was like, one, you get people to update their wish list, so now as a vendor you can see what people actually want as a game, right? And then 2, you get people buying and trading cards. Like on the very first day, these cards were selling for like 50 to 75 cents, and Valve was taking like 40 cents out of each trade. I don't even remember what it was, but it was ridiculous. I looked at the numbers afterwards. There's 10 different cards, and of those 10 cards, on the very first day, they already traded and sold about 150,000 of each individual card, which is like 1,000,000 cards times by 40 cents, which means Valve made $400,000 on virtual goods that they themselves gave out to people so that they can trade with each other. It was crazy. I can't imagine any kind of like economy where you can just create a virtual good, right? The amount of manpower required to make 10 collectible cards and that kind of stuff is like not even that much, right? You could spend like maybe a week, or I know some people who can do it in a single day, do all the stuff that was required for the Steam summer camp thing. You could do that in one day, and to turn around and make $400,000 in a single day, right? They ran that for a week. So they easily made about $3 million just by market trade for the first basic item. Because don't forget, there's other items that you can also get during that summer year. There's like all these different things that let you steal points from each other or whatever kind of stuff. It was just the cards alone. I just mathed it out, and it was ridiculous. And you think about this: Valve made a thing, gave it out quote unquote free to other people, and then people just started selling and trading to each other, and they ended up, and Valve just reaped in all this cash. Right? I mean, a lot of people have money sitting in their Steam wallet, right? This is the other thing. Like, Valve has a Steam wallet where people have money that's just sitting there doing absolutely nothing, and technically Valve has that money. You can't ever, it's not like a gift card, right? Like, they passed a law a long time ago where if your gift card is under $10 remaining or whatever kind of stuff, you're allowed to cash it out and get actual real money back. But no, with Steam Wallet, you can never get that money back. That money is Valve's money. You have to spend it in Steam. You can't spend it elsewhere. It's stuck there forever. Even if it is like 10 cents here, 1 cent there, it all adds up. Considering the millions of users that Valve has, they basically have money that people are sitting around that they're never going to spend. And if you spend that money on things that are 1 cent, 3 cents kind of stuff, Valve will take a cut out of that as well as you're spending it within Valve. So it slowly diminishes the amount of money that people have in their wallets, but Valve's pockets just keeps overflowing. Like, to me, explaining it to other people, they will, I'm sure you guys will agree with me that there's something, it feels wrong. Like, it's technically probably not illegal, but I'm sure if you post somebody and you point their attention to this, they're like, that seems kind of sketchy. Like, even if it's not illegal, it's something that it feels like it should be illegal. That there is like basically a gray area in law or finance even that should cover this but isn't covering it, and Valve is just reaping in the benefits without actually having to pay whatever for this, right? I mean, I'm sure they're paying their taxes or whatever, but there's something going on there. To me, it feels kind of like a Ponzi scheme or like a pyramid scheme kind of thing where it's, oh my god, it's just ridiculous. But at the same time, it's brilliant to me, and I'm so jealous that like it wasn't me, or I don't get the like it wasn't me that came up with it, or that I get to reap the benefits from this idea. Anyways, like things that people can get mad at Valve for. For example, and here's another one: the golden wrench thing. This is way back when, before the economy completely went bonkers. In TF2, if you were cracked during this period of time, if you crafted items, you could potentially get this golden wrench. There was only going to be 10 or 25 or whatever golden wrenches given out, and the golden wrenches don't do anything except make goat statues when you beat somebody on the head with the wrench. And people were like crafting their stuff as soon as they get it, and blah blah blah, and basically dwindling their inventory, right, as much as possible. I knew I did it, and it came out that these golden wrench stuff, they weren't random. It wasn't like you have a small random chance of getting it, whatever. They were particularly timed. It was like the first person to do a crafting after this time will get it. And there was this kind of like controversy that came out because Valve told somebody, or somebody got their hands on this information of the schedule, and they basically predicted exactly, or quote unquote predicted. They just announced it like, oh yeah, 3, 2, 1. And then boom. And one of the things was with this golden wrench was that everybody globally playing TF2 at the moment will get the announcement, so and so got this golden wrench. And what came out afterwards was the kicker. It wasn't just this controversy about the fact that Valve promoted it, advertised this as a random thing when it was actually like a set timing kind of thing, but the big thing afterwards was right away after it was done, they came out with recipes. Right after this, they came out with recipes where you can basically take your scrap items and make certain other items in the game that that were just newly released. They released like all these items, and you could craft these items, but guess what? they just ran this contest where everybody crafted all their items away, so nobody had any extra spare items left over, right? And on top of that, they also introduced a store so that you can buy these items as well. And these items were the polygraph? I can't remember what it was. It was part of this contest that the community had created these items, and Valve gave them stats, and these items were sets. If you create a spy set, you get a small buff, which was softer decloak sounds. If you were a soldier, you get a small buff, which I believe was like take less damage from sentry guns and all that kind of stuff. And it was ridiculous. I think the scout set, like, you got plus health or something like that, and people were trying to get these items super hard, but because everybody had already crafted all their scrap stuff away, they couldn't use the recipes to make it anymore, and it was simultaneously sketchy and yet brilliant at the same time to me. And then of course everybody like just dropped like $100 to buy all these items. You could drop $20 to buy one of the sets, or you can spend like $90 to buy all 5 sets or something like that. And at the time that was a ridiculous amount of money. This was before things like the engagement ring for like $100 came out for TF2 and all this other stuff. This was way before all that kind of things. And it's just to me, I don't know. I just, of all the things to get mad at Valve for trying to pay modders, this is kind of a relatively small thing in my mind. Like, there's these rights, there's accountability and stuff like that, but that's all legalese that we as the consumers shouldn't have to worry too much about. But these kinds of things, like the Golden Wrench stuff, like the compendium, right, where they advertise that, oh yeah, you guys are gonna support the prize pool for Dota 2 International, but like only a small portion of the compendium purchases go towards the actual prize pool. Valve keeps the lion's share of this stuff, and like how much effort that Valve put forward to create this compendium is not that much, in my opinion. And but instead they get to reap in all those rewards, and on top of that they get to promote, hey, look at this, it's a $10 million tournament that we're hosting, aren't we so great, we're giving away $10 million. Like, but no, the lion's share of that $10 million that you're giving away was from the community buying your compendium, and of that the community buying your compendium, you took a huge cut out of that as well. Like, you're just pulling money left, right, and front. You got your thumb in so many pies. It's ridiculous. Like, why didn't people get mad about this? I don't understand. Why are you guys getting mad about mods when you could have gotten mad about the companion? When you could have gotten mad at they were testing out online ticketing purchases for Dota 2 on, like, spectating Dota 2 matches online, and they needed to test out their ticket system, so they start selling virtual tickets for real money that people bought with real money. And the reason why Valve continues to push this line, the reason why Valve is continuing to look for places for them to stick their thumbs in, is because they're getting away with it. And people aren't complaining enough. People aren't mad about this kind of stuff. They are happy. They're like, oh yeah, new stuff for my game. Yeah, I love it. Great, thanks Valve, thanks Gaben. And they get away with it. And I have this saying where that I mentioned back with the whole potato salad Kickstarter thing, is that I hate people. It's not that I hate people, it's just I hate people. The way that people just let themselves get taken advantage of. And it's like, you know how like it's like a few people ruin it for the rest of it? It's kind of this kind of thing where they're not getting mad at the right things, where they're not fighting back, pushing back. They're allowing these things, and they're encouraging Steam and Valve to continue doing this kind of stuff. To their credit, Valve did pull the modding stuff out after a couple of days. They were already getting away with this. People were already spending money. They had to refund money to people for this. They were already getting away with it, and they could have just ignored people, went la 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 la, and just did it anyways. But they decided to pull out. And I mean, it's not completely for proper rationale. Maybe Bethesda had pressure then, or maybe they have a future thing that they're coming out with soon, like a Steam machine or virtual reality thing that they're not very confident in, and they don't want to piss people off just yet. So it's not completely like, oh yeah, look at them, they're taking the high ground kind of stuff, kind of thing either. But at least they're pulling it out, and at least people are starting to get mad about things, and I think that is probably the right path. Anyways, that is my opinion about modding, this whole Valve charging for modding thing, kababble. if you guys have other topics that you guys want me to talk about, do send them. You can post them in the comments below. You could just tweet at me, just like Mondre did. And if you guys want to help me out making some thumbnails, by all means, like I said, I will use almost anything for sure. But yeah, that is my rant, guys, about this kind of stuff. Let me know what your thoughts are on the whole incident. You could just type some of the stuff in the comments below. Like I said, I love reading comments. I always read every single one of them. Even if I don't reply, I do read every single comment, and I do enjoy it quite a lot. You guys can also tweet at me. I'm starting to get into the Twitter thing quite hardcore. Until then, I will see you guys next week. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.